Hello, everybody. This is a short video about the Middle English lyric, O Western Wind. This is it. This is the whole poem. O western wind, when wilt thou blow? A small rain down can rain. Christ, if my love were in my arms, and I in my bed again. If the first line of the poem, with its proliferation of W sounds, recalls the alliterative structure of Old English poetry, the poem as a whole is resolutely Middle English, not only because it has the familiar metrical cadence and end rhymes linking rain and again, but also because of its emphasis on the pangs of romantic love and on an ordinary feeling felt by regular people, not cosmic tragedies suffered by heroes and kings, but the plain old feeling of wishing you were home in bed with the person you love. If you've ever worked a double shift at Taco Bell, you know the feeling. Middle English lyrics are closer in spirit to the sensibilities of contemporary popular songwriting, which tend to focus on personal experiences that any listener can relate to, typically experiences about love and heartache. Of course, Middle English lyrics were originally intended to be sung, and if you search online, you can probably hear musical settings that these lyrics have been put to. Music connects us powerfully to bodily emotions, and if you listen to the radio, you'll see that most songs tend to be about things like love, loss, partying, music itself, and other intense emotional experiences. This short fragment of verse may be one of the oldest and most famous pop songs ever written in English. In Fowls in the Frith, the poet seemed outcast from the perfection and completeness of nature. Here, the relationship between the poet and nature is more complicated. The poet begins by addressing nature, trying to bargain with it, possibly asking the seasons to hurry up and progress faster so that they can get back to their home and bed and loved ones. There is no sign that nature is responsive to this request, but there is a clear indication that the weather and the poet are connected on an emotional level. The rain serves as an echo and emblem of the poet's state of mind. The poetic suggestion that the weather provides a meteorological expression of the poet's personal emotion is a perennially invoked feature in world literature known as the pathetic fallacy. One of my students once suggested that the small rain refers to the poet's tears, an image that suggests that the weather and the poet's feelings are intertwined. Rather than feeling exiled from nature, this poet is immersed in a natural setting that both mirrors and resists the poet's personal longings. The second half of the poem breaks this spell with a fervent prayer to Christ, as if the poet is switching strategies from the pagan gambit of bargaining with nature to the Christian practice of praying to Jesus Christ. At the same time, there is also something quasi-blasphemous about this expostulation. To modern ears, it might sound like he is using the Lord's name in vain, like you could substitute this word with a swear word and the poem would have the same meaning. It's impossible to tell how Middle English people would have heard this, whether it would have sounded like a devout prayer or a vulgar impiety. Either way, there is no sign that the poet's prayer is heard. Christ is just as unresponsive as the wind and the rain. All we're left with is the poet's fervent sense of disappointment, an elemental refrain that once you hear it, you may often hear yourself saying to yourself, especially the next time you are 14 hours deep into that double shift at Taco Bell.